This is what it is, okay? I said empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
Welcome to the... Hey, everybody. All right, welcome to the 9th episode of the Deployment Dojo. This is a live show where we introduce and discuss software installation topics using the WiX Toolset. I'm your host, Rob Mensching, and joining me today is my very good friend and student of deployment, David Edson. David, how are you doing up there?
Pretty good. Hello there.
All right. All right, as always, we have a little bit of audio glitches right in the beginning. Still working those out. Anyway, today I'm very excited. We're finally installing something real. Are you ready for that, David?
I'm ready.
Let's get right into it. Count to 0. All right. Episode 9, you've seen so many times I've started with a text file or 2 text files that aren't anything interesting. This time we're going to install something real. We introduced MS Build last time, and since much of software in the world of managed code and Microsoft is built off of MS Build, I want us to continue down that path so we can build our installation package and some useful software. So let's go ahead and get started and look around a little bit about what we're doing. All right, so here we have, I brought our sandbox forward. It should be all ready for this. Did I get it right? Map folders, map folder. All right, we've been having problems with map folders, right?
Yes.
I think I've got it right this time. And then we have our usual batch file that's going to open up some directories for us the way that we want things sorted. Okay, I want to show you this folder here. This is the program that I created, and I built once for us here. This is a very, very simple program. It's essentially your hello world, except it says hello to us. All right?
All right.
What does it do? It's a program, has a main function. It prints to the console, hello, and then it waits for you to press a key, and then it disappears. Nothing too special. All right?
Sounds good.
All right. I want to show you this CS project. So we talked about the new SDK style projects a little bit and how small and compact they can be. This is an example of a C# project. MS Build project. MS Build will build this the same way. We tell it the SDK, in this case the Microsoft.NET. We want to tell it what framework we're targeting. In this case, I just started Net 4.8. That's the most modern one on the .NET framework side. And then we're building an exe. We're not building a DLL or anything like that. We're building an exe. All right, nothing too surprising there. So if we go back to our command prompt and we go into the Hello Dojo, and I'm going to get rid of these 2 folders here. All right, cool. And we'll get rid of this little VS directory that's hanging out. We don't need that. Probably got open when I opened VS. All right, so 2 files. How do we do this? We say MS Build, and we tell it to do a restore, which brings down all the tooling that we need, gets it all set up, and then does a build. MS Build restore, does the work, creates a bin folder, debug net 4.8, and there's our exe. Right?
Okay.
Nothing special.
Right.
This is kind of what you expect. Bin debug net 4.8 hello dojo.exe. It prints out hello dojo episode 9, and then I have to bang on a key to get it to exit. Cool. Real program, right?
Yes.
But it's not terribly helpful if it just sits here on my machine. How do I get it to you? Well, in this case, it's one exe, so I could just send you the exe. But let's actually install it and make it useful. All right, ready for that?
I'm ready.
I know you are. Okay, I'm going to put my project right here. I probably should put it in a directory, but you know what? We're just going to put it... No, we're going to put it in a folder. I'll do the right thing. All right, what do we want to call this? We'll call this episode 9 folder. All right, so we're going to put all of our setup stuff in here, and I'm going to say new file, episode9.wixproj. We're going to start with our project file. I know usually we start with our our setup code and all that kind of good stuff. But this time I want to start with our project file.
Okay.
All right. So what do? It's a project file. And for WiX, it's very simple. We put the SDK on it, and then it's WiX Toolset.sdk, because that's our SDK. And because we're not built into .NET Framework, built into MS Build the way Microsoft is, we have to give it a version. I have the preview version over here. We're doing preview.1 build, and we upgrade ourselves to 570 last time. I'm looking over here on the left to make sure I get the right build number. Okay, so this says, hey, we're going to use this build number. Eventually, when preview 1 comes out next week, it'll just be that. And then when finally WiX 4 ships for real, it'll be just that. Very easy to remember. Okay, but while we're doing dev builds and all that kind of stuff, we have the extra pieces on there. And we're also hooked up to GitHub if we have to.
Yep,
okay.
Makes sense.
Right. So there we are. We have now told this project file to build with the WiX Toolset SDK. And since now that we have another one, I can compare them. I'll open this side by side. You see, project SDK, Microsoft.NET SDK. Ours is, they get pretty coloring. I don't. I'm going to make ours pretty coloring. There. Oh, it's a good thing I did too, because the coloring showed me I missed a quote. There we go.
Yep.
All right. Cool. So you can say, hey, how do you know what this project is? It says WiX Proj, but that's not really what tells you. This SDK is what tells you for sure.
Okay.
All right. And then in the WiX, the .NET Framework requires us to set a whole bunch of these extra things. In the WiX side, we're building an MSI. That's the default. So we could just kick off and go that way. Nice and easy. Our projects are very small, but it won't stay small because that's actually what we're doing today. Ready to install some things. Need to create a file. All right, episode 9. Boy, 9.ws. I've been doing so much typing the last few days. It's not even funny. All right, no. Start with WiX. Then we have a package. Name equals episode 9. Version equals 1.1. Doesn't matter. Upgrade code equals, I need to go get a good, I forgot manufacturer, didn't I? Manufacturer, publisher, who we are. We are the Deployment Dojo. Say it loud, say it proud. I don't know. It's not really a sports thing, is it? I'm going to go back over here to my command prompt and say new. Good, please. Thank you. All right, we're getting ourselves set up. Nice and easy. Close package. Close WiX. Need to put an XML namespace on here. Can I do this? HTTP WiX Toolset // WiXToolset.org. Schemas. We're doing the V4 thing, and we're doing it for the WiX code. Cool. All right. Easy. Next thing we do in here, always add our major upgrade, our downgrade error message is a newer version installed. Cool. No surprises yet.
Right.
I'm going to add our feature right here. Main. And we're going to go refer off to a component group, ref. And we're going to call it Hello Dojo components, because this is how we're going to install the Hello Dojo. Cool. We have our package. We have our major upgrade information in it. And we have our feature that says, hey, I want to install, or I want to control all my stuff to be installed right here in the main, or in the component group. Probably should go create that component group now, right?
Right.
All right, I'm going to call it this. New file, please. .wxs. Hello Dojo components. We're going to copy, because I don't need to type all this stuff. Again, this is the power of WiX over a lot of comparable tools. Copy and paste is your friend. Nice and easy when you need it. Can you still choose to have a product element there? Product element. No, the name is now package, not product. That's a change in WiX 4. Standardizing on more the concept that MSIs are packages throughout the WiX lingo. The old name, David, what he's asking is, this name used to be called product.
Okay.
Does product mean anything to you? Package? You're kind of like whichever one, right?
Yeah.
Whatever you say. Yeah, I got you. So, all right.
So you've just taken that product out of there completely now for WiX 4?
For WiX 4, we renamed it. We renamed it package. Yep. And as Bob points out, we've actually simplified things. I haven't brought you through a whole bunch of WiX 3 code, but you'll see some like consolidations in WiX 4 from WiX 3 concepts. See, gotcha. I think what we're doing here is stirring up a little interest in people starting to think about, what does it mean to be in WiX 4? How do I get my WiX 3 code into WiX 4? All right, I have a component group. I have my feature referring to this component group. I am not installing anything, but this should probably build, right? I mean, with what I have here, it just wouldn't be very interesting.
Right.
All right. Remember how I said I could build multiple fragments in here?
Right.
I'm going to create my other part of my backbone, right? So I have the nervous system, the features that could be used to turn things on and off. What's the backbone? What does that start with?
You're talking about the
my directory tree.
Okay.
Yep. Talking about the directory tree. Run files folder. So this is the backbone. This is the physical layout of the world. And I'm going to say directory ID equals, and we'll use install folder for now. This is my own folder. I could call it whatever I want. I like calling install folder. We're doing episode 9. We're going to install our stuff into episode 9 in program files folder. Cool?
Yep. And
I want to say inside this component group, please put all of the stuff in this component group in install folder. Okay? Everything in here, we're going to put it all in install folder. We don't have any other folders. I mean, I guess we could put things in program files folder, but then it'll be mixed in with all the other stuff. Putting our stuff in install folder. All right, components are the atomic unit of install, the things that we use to put things, and we finally get to the important part. What are we installing?
the Hello Dojo program.
That's right, and it is called hellodojo.exe. Hellodojo.exe. Great. Let's go build. CD. Oh, I'm in Hello Dojo. I need to go into the episode 9 directory, and let's build with the restore to bring down our tools. All right, so we'll bring down the WiX, all that kind of good stuff. It'll do a build. It's getting all our tools for us. Doing a build, calling WiX, and the system cannot find the file hellodojo.exe. Right? Because, well, where did we tell it was? I've been cheating all this time through all these previous Dojo. I've been putting the text file and the source files, the WiX source files, all in the same directory. So when WiX is looking around, it's trying to find this hellodojo.exe in the same directory as all of the other files.
Okay.
Hellodojo.exe is not here, right? It is clearly missing from here.
So do you put more directories in there? The directory under the standard directories?
No, that's a great question. No, this standard directory is where we install to. What we need to do is find it. Where does this file live on disk? How do I get it for the installation package? Right? Because I need to get that file, put it inside my MSI and its cab and ship it over to the other machine. Right. This source says, where do you find the file on this computer, not on the target computer? Okay? So this directory tree is where we would install the file to. The source says, where do I get the file from? Well, where is it? Well, we're in episode 9, so we could say .. and then bin debug net48. Okay, so I'm going from Hello Dojo up to the root, then into into Hello Dojo. See, I wouldn't have got that wrong. Into the Hello Dojo folder, then bin, then debug, then net48, and there's hellodojo.exe. Better?
Okay.
Now let's build here. I don't have to restore again, but I will. Hey, look, we built. We're doing validation. It's checking my MSI out, making sure everything's good. And 6 seconds later, we have an MSI. Does it work?
Hope so.
No, that's not the answer. The answer is, let's go put it in a sandbox. Because we definitely don't want to put it on this machine here, right? All right, blink for me. There we go. Things opening up. There we go. All right, so there's program files on this machine. There's there's my add and move programs. And here's my folder we've been looking at with the Hello Dojo and the episode 9. There's my WXS files. Here's my bin folder, debug, and look, there's my MSI ready to be installed. Should we install it?
Yes.
Yes, I know. Eager. This is great. We're actually installing something real. All right. Did it install? Well, it showed up in Add Remove Programs. I saw the directory blink back here. And ta-da! We have hello-dojo.exe. Does it work? Let's run it. Ta-da! Hello, Dojo episode 9. Hit a key, and it goes away. All right. Awesome, right? It works. We can install it. All kinds of good things. Everything just works. Close the sandbox. Don't need to. Actually, you know what? First time, let's uninstall it. Please be removed. There goes our file. It's all gone. We're good to go again. All right. Closing the sandbox would have deleted everything anyway, but I just like to do that for cleanliness sakes. All right, cool. So what have we done? We have learned how to specify in the source directory how to find our file, our exe, all the way over here, right? Because if we just said this, like we've been doing, like we've been cheating, where we just had the file name, it would be looking in this folder with all of our source code.
Right.
Which of course is not where you would keep your build your exe to, right? We don't want to build this exe, this PDB, and all of its junk into this, because then it all gets mishmashed together and can't find anything. All right, we want to do that. Okay?
Okay.
Now, I want to move on to the second kata to show you how to make this thing. Actually, you know what? Before we go there, I'm going to show you the problem. All right, I'm going to show you the problem before we move on to what we need to do to fix it. If we go into, let's start clean, okay? So I'm going to delete the bin directory and the obj directory from Hello Dojo. I'm going to delete the bin directory and the directory from episode 9, all right, from our setup. And then when I say msbuild -restore, it's going to get our tools all set up, everything ready and build, and our file's missing. It's a problem. So now, what does that mean I have to do? I have to go build this guy first before I build this WiX project. And I have to remember now the ordering to do that. And it turns out msbuild can do that for me. So that's what kata 1 is. Let's go over to kata 1.
Okay.
All right. Now that we know the problem, I want to hook these two projects together. How do I do that? Well, it turns out, oops, I already have this file open here. It turns out I can create these things called project references. Item group, thank you. And project reference. And this is msbuild syntax. I didn't name these things, they did. So you say, hey, I'd like to have a project reference to another project. I'm in my setup project, inside my WiX project. And when I say project reference, that means go build that thing over there first. Okay. So what do we want to build? We want to build Hello Dojo CSproj. Hello Dojo.csproj. What have I done? I have now asked the episode 9 project to build the Hello Dojo project and then build mine. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Let's go ahead and I'm going to remove the bin and the OBJ folders again from here. Okay. See, let's slide this over a little bit. You can now see they're gone. All right, clear screen. Now I'm going to do just msbuild-restore. I am only building the setup project. What do we expect it to do first?
Build the Hello Dojo.
And then
first.
Build this. All right. All in one sweep. Here we go. Goes really fast, but you can see, yeah, it went so fast, but you can see the bin and OBJ folders over here got created, and then our folders got created over here, and look, we have an MSI that passed validation. All in one big sweep.
Okay.
Is that not cool? Is that not like, just save a lot of time, right? All right.
Right.
Actually, I hear the trepidation. You're not sure it works. Let's put it into the sandbox. You're like, Rob, that looks very nice, but I don't trust that it's there. Let's see if it actually worked. Did it actually put the file in the MSI? Well, one of the nice things is at least we know the build worked, which should tell us that, yeah, the file was there. But I appreciate validate bin, debug, episode 9.
Yep.
We should get an episode 9 folder. There's Hello Dojo, and it still works. Cool?
Cool.
All right, so you trust me. I'm not going to uninstall it. Boom, gone. All right, great. So we've been doing all this build with just debug builds, right? And when you ship out, and those are unoptimized, they have all the extra stuff in them to help you do debug builds. But when you ship to other customers, typically you build a release build, all right?
Right.
So let's go ahead and get rid of these directories again. Oh, before I do that, I want to do one thing. All right, I got rid of all those directories. Before we talk about release builds, I want to show you this first. We're going to build. Okay, all those folders are gone. We're going to see all the text go by. C# build. WiX is now building itself. Let's go up here. See, here is the output of the XC. Here's the call to the CSC right there. That's the C# compiler.
Right.
Okay, so you can see, hey, they built. What happens if we build again?
I'm not sure.
Nothing. Well,
Okay.
it goes and checks and makes sure everything's up to date. But it's like, hey, everything looks good. I don't have to build anything. So MS Build not only will build all the things in order, but if you don't modify them, it won't build them again. Let's go ahead and modify this. I'm just going to take out this white space. Okay. An innocuous change, but it changed to the compiler. It's like, well, I don't know. You changed something, so I have to rebuild that C# project, right?
Oh, okay.
And we need to make sure that, and I'm not going to delete any of these folders, so we want to make sure that our MSI builds again. So here we go, build, restore. Look, there's the CSC call, built again. And look, here's WiX running again and building and doing the validation and putting our new MSI in there. Okay.
Okay.
And now if I build again, is it done? Oh, it's done. I just scrolled up the screen. And if we build again, it's done in 0.79 seconds. Build again. Done in 0.77 seconds. All right. Hey, really fast.
Let's get faster.
Yeah, it's getting fast. Well, let's get warmed up. You know, it's managed code. Get warmed up. Get everything kind of going. Your disks know where all the files are at already. That's got to check. Anyway, so you can see this is really nice to build and rebuild faster. All right. Now I want to bring up the thing that to talk about most. This is the thing that if you haven't been following along on WiX 4, that's going to be kind of trippy. When we build for release, okay, so we've been building debug builds, and you can see that it's in the folder name, all right? And in the folder name here, we have a debug build, okay? And debug builds are what you want to use when you're debugging because they have all the extra information. It makes the debugger really easy to use, and all that kind of things. But when you ship to customers, you want it to run fast, not necessarily easy to debug. Right? You want to optimize all of the special tricks that the compiler can pull off. You tell at that point, try to optimize my code as much. That's what a release build gives you. That way the customers get the fastest, even though maybe it's a little harder to debug, at least they're running all the builds faster, okay? So let's build release build. How do we do that? Well, we give it the configuration equals release, okay? So when I say build all this stuff in release, it's gonna go build my C# code in release, and it's gonna build my MSI in release. Okay. So what we're going to get is this tiny little thing that prints out to the console and reads a key. It's going to be even faster. Not really. I mean, it might be a tiny little bit slower, but for this level thing, it doesn't make a big difference. All right, here we go. MS build, restore, configuration, release, go. Built our C# code. Notice over here in the bin folder now we have a release folder for the Hello Dojo. Mm-hmm. And there's the XE. And we went, and it worked. Everything's fine, right? Right? I want to bring up Hello Dojo in, let's see, I want to bring up two of them. Bin, debug. I'm hoping this, I didn't check this beforehand. Oh, it's really small. It's 5 kilobytes. I'm going to bring up the other one for release. I'm hoping it's smaller. Bin, release, net48. No, it's the same size. It's too small a program. I should have thought of this. Is it really the same size? 4.5K. Properties, it's just too small to make any difference. I can't get it any bigger than that. All right, let me do this. I'm going to clean, get rid of all these folders again, because this did not demonstrate the problem I wanted to demonstrate. Because everything just worked. Let's build release again. And now it failed. Why did it fail? Try to find this file.
Oh, yeah, it was referenced in the
exactly.
Project file.
It's referencing the debug build. We're referencing the debug build. Now that I cleaned everything, we'll see that there is nothing built for debug, but we do have something for release. The problem is that we've hard-coded debug in here. And that's a problem.
Right.
What we want to do is not have that. Well, it turns out, and this is new in WiX 4, by creating this project reference, WiX Toolset has already hooked us up to that project. So we can go and, just like we used to, take this out. By adding that project reference, I can just say, give me hello dojo.exe. I'm going to clean everything again. bin, clean the bin, clean the obj, bin, obj. Delete those folders, build now. Okay. So before, when we say this, this would look in this folder right here next to us.
Mm-hmm.
But because we have this project reference now, it's going to add another directory. We build release, zoom, look, it's already building our MSI. Because we have a project reference, it adds to the list of places to look where this project gets built to. It added to the release directory for us automatically. Do the MS build work. So we can do this nice, simple, hey, I just want to say hello Dojo, and it knows, oh, you meant this one. You didn't deal with WiX 3. We had to do all kinds of crazy things with WiX 3 to get the correct paths there. Some people will be like, wait, does that really work? Yes, I'll delete it again. And this time we're going to build debug. I deleted everything. Go back and build a debug. Build. There we go. Zach has the right idea. He's like, oh my gosh, that's so nice. Yes, this is a big deal here. All right, so bin. Now we have only the debug build. Notice I did not change where I was pulling it from. Didn't change that at all. I just said I would like hellodojo.exe, and it switches between the two. Does it still work? Let's open up our sandbox, and I'm going to build release real quick while the sandbox opens. All right, there's that. There's that. There's that. Episode 9, bin, release. We're going to build this MSI. Episode 9, hello Dojo. See?
Yep.
Run it. I really should put something that, so we can differentiate them. Might do that later. But for now, that's the big thing I wanted to show. Right there. Now, we will automatically begin releases. How do you know it works? Let me show you an error message that's also new in WiX 4. Whoops, I didn't want to minimize that. Close the sandbox. All right, sandbox goes away. How do we know it's working? Let's go ahead and give the Hello Dojo, we'll call it Hello Dojo X. Okay. That file will not exist. So let's go ahead, clear screen. Let's go ahead and delete all these folders again. MS build, restore, configuration, release, build. It's going to have a problem. System cannot find the file hellodojo.x.exe, which makes sense because we didn't tell it where. Notice this new error message. The following paths were checked. This is new to WiX 4.
Okay.
David, you're like, I don't know, it's new to me. Everything's new. But here we go. It said, hey, I look for hellodojo.x.exe in the same folder as this component right here. And I also looked for it over here in hello dojo bin release net48 hello dojo x.exe. So it prints out all the places that the WiX toolset looked for this file.
Right.
And you can see, oh, well, yeah, that's the whole problem. We didn't get the right file because, we named it wrong. And we don't have to do that whole .. hello dojo. Like, we don't have to worry about that being the problem. We just said, hey, go find this for me, please. Do another build with the correct file name, and everything works.
Cool.
Boom. All right. I'm going to go sparring. Let's think a little second for what's left, Dave. Questions, things. Maybe we should start taking some of the questions that are in the chat because people are like flying out.
Yeah, I was trying to.
You're trying to read those while we're thinking. All right, you think for a second. I'm going to take it from the bottom. And that's just adding the output path to the linker search paths. Yep. Yeah. So this is using the one of the best features of the WiX toolset that nobody uses in WiX 3 called bind paths. And they are the search paths for finding files, for binding files into the final output. So for all project references, it automatically adds those paths for you. And you can actually see them in this. Here, how about I grab this and we'll straighten it all out into a straight line. Maybe. Make it big. Oh no, it kept all the white spaces. All right, -B, bind path right here. So you can see it added bind paths right here. I'm just gonna kind of pop these out a little bit. So you can see the WiX toolset added the bind path, and it also added a name bind path for you too, in case you want to be more specific. We'll talk about name bind paths another time. But you can see there are the bind paths that pointed right to that folder, which means all you have to do is say, hey, this is the file I wanted, and it'll pull it out of the right folder for you automatically. So we still have to randomly replicate nested directories on our source paths. Yeah, so if, for example, this hello, if this hello DJ, if it created a new folder in here, called XXX, and you wanted to put the config file in that, then you would do xx/hellodojo.xe.config. And it will find then this xx hello in this folder relative to that one. It'll do all the search kind of things. Yeah, so Martin brings up the whole the parent hello dojo.target path. The problem with that solution is that it burns in the path, the hard path in here, Martin, so that there are other things you can't do, like in patching and other advanced scenarios. You end up hard-coded with that path in here. With bind paths, you can actually rebind and rebuild. You get a lot more flexibility in the system. So I would recommend not using the preprocessor variables, but we'll talk about preprocessor another day. Let's see. Going up a little bit, Christopher was asking things. Determines if it's a fragment module package based on the element underneath the WiX element. So yeah, so if you have code that you were using before that looks for a fragment module or package based on the element underneath the WiX element, the element you're looking for now is package, not product in WiX 3. Yeah, and module is still module. That hasn't changed. David?
I don't know if I have too many questions there, other than when you introduced the idea of the fragment a while back to your, the WiX source code, and you have multiple. Do you typically, when you're making a big installation, have multiple WiX source files, right? Is that normal? And if you do, are they usually all on the same directory? Not the project files or components, or how you call it, but actually multiple WiX source files.
Yeah, I tend to put them all in one folder, but I tend to put all my C# code in one folder too. But it really is kind of really let's put some of this. That's totally a personal organization. How do you want to organize your project?
Sure. I guess that what I was getting at is, does build have any problems finding it if you build it? And there's multiple WiX
folder. Stuff. Move our Hello Dojo components there. We'll get rid of everything. So we're gonna do another nice little clean build. So I moved Hello Dojo into, all right, so this is just these two projects. This stuff folder, actually this file's not even the right one anymore. Actually, probably figured it out because VS Code is kind of smart like that. Don't save that file. All right, so there's Hello Dojo. Let's build. Okay. It's not in this folder. Go build our C# project real fast. Come build our things, and there you go. See, found it. Stuff, Hello Dojo. But that's because the WiX project looks for all the WSS files in this folder and below, and it just sucks them all up.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, but I didn't know.
Yep. And yes, bind paths are very powerful, but not used. We did not explain them well in WiX 3, so I'm trying to raise their profile in WiX 4. And honestly, the utility. And we did keep, by the way, just for reference, we did keep the preprocessor variable experience, so people that have it, their code won't break. But we are trying to we definitely want to gently nudge people in the direction of using bind paths instead, because they are much more powerful, much more flexible. All right. I think we've finally introduced a couple things in WiX 4 that even experienced people weren't aware of was coming, and it's really nice. I don't know what we're going to talk about next week, but I'm sure I'll find something. We're getting very close to Preview 1. Preview 1, the end of next week. So we have another episode on our dev build, and then hopefully after that, David, we're on the Preview 1 build. That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
that would be very awesome. All right. Well, until then, you guys have a wonderful time, and we will see you. Oh, wait. Should I get these? I got to get these questions, don't I, David? All right. Bind path was exposed in MS Build, right? Yes. Is that significantly different than link or search path? I don't know what link or search path is. That's not a thing in WiX that I know of. It was called bind input paths. I think bind input path. Anyway, it's the bind paths, and we'll talk about named ones in the future. Yeah, and then Martin brought up, I saw the problem at work where I wanted a reusable WXS file for a dependent DLL, and I think this would be a way to solve that better. Yeah, bind paths are a fantastic way to solve a great many problems, and we just didn't do we didn't do a great job of advertising it. And the pre-processed variables still do work, Christopher. They're still there. You can actually see them hidden in all these -Ds. That's defining all the pre-processed variables. They're still around, but the bind paths create much cleaner code and smaller code and easier to follow. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that's it. We'll be back next week. We're starting to get into some fun stuff. Things are getting a little more complicated. We're pushing David's, we're continuing to push his comfort level and throwing him in the deep end of all this kind of stuff. But that was a great example of throwing our WXS files in a subfolder. All right, project references and all the power that project references have on WiX 4, at least the beginning of it. Until next week, guys, you have a good one. Bye.